Hey guys, how are you doing today? Yeah, we focus a lot on our three-dimensional worlds. Obviously, it's where we live, it's where we exist. So, we tend to focus on it. But here's something that I want to keep you informed with so that you can definitely transform your life in the best way possible. And it's to remember this, that we receive in the 3D, we don't manifest in the three-dimensional world. And I will let you know how this works. So 5D and up, yes, you can say we manifest beyond in the 5th dimension. The 4th dimension is one of time. So 5th dimension and up, we can say that's where things come into existence. So here's how to tell if you're manifesting in the 3D instead of receiving in the 3D, and here's how to tell when you're manifesting from the 5D. So the one key component all these have in common is a factor called resistance. Resistance is your biggest enemy when you're manifesting something, right? The less resistance, the faster the results, the better the results, the more flow state you're in, it crunches the time. So we keep that in mind. If I can release, or I can get down my resistance to as low entropy as possible, then I can be able to bring things in a lot faster, right? So keep that in mind. All right, so what causes resistance? There's two main factors that causes a lot of resistance. Contrary to popular demand, when you say what's your ego, well, your ego is the number 2 contributor of resistance. The number 1 contributor of resistance is your own subconscious mind, the old programs you have. So once we recognize that all of us have been programmed incorrectly, we've been programmed to exist in lack and scarcity, and we call those limiting beliefs. So you have to go ahead and clear those out first. So clear out the number 1 form of resistance, right? Subconscious. That's easier to do. You can use subliminals. Once you get your subconscious open, then we have to deal with the next factor, which is the ego. And that's what a lot of us primarily face. Our ego is the number 1 factor in resistance. So here's how you're manifesting in the 3D. You don't want to manifest in the 3D. Remember that. All right. So if you're looking for your manifestation, if you're wondering where it is, if you're thinking you're doing something wrong, if you're thinking that it's not working, if you're thinking that, how is it going to show up? I can't imagine the ways. You are manifesting in 3 dimensions. You're not going to manifest correctly that way. Okay, that's 3D manifesting. Now, when you're manifesting from the 5D, here's how you know you're manifesting from the 5D. You don't care for evidence. You don't look around for your manifestation. They just show up. You are more certain with a knowing and expecting it to come in. You're carrying your day on as if you know something is about to change in your life positively. You don't listen to the mind when it's saying, how is it going to show up? Where is it at? You don't entertain it. You hear it, but you don't absorb it. That's 5-dimensional manifestation. That's when you are guaranteed to receive your results. So many of us, we are stuck in the 3D manifesting. Instead of manifesting in the 3D, we have to receive. One sends, one receives. That's a big thing we have to understand, guys. You never manifest from 3D. Remember this, 3D is only to receive, not to manifest. Manifestation in the system is outside of our dimension, it's outside. So what do? While I'm in the 3-dimensional world, I put my requests into 5 dimensions. I visualize what it is I want. I expect it to come in. And now in the 3D, I'm flowing with it. When my mind now comes in, because here's the thing now, your ego will always interrupt in the 3D. Okay? So here's what happens now. Your conscious mind will observe your surroundings, and it will look and tell you there is no evidence. It's not here. You're doing something wrong. Something is wrong with you. This is crucial. Now here's the point. This is where you ignore that. This is the time when you say, no, 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 I am not going to listen to that. Because now you know that manifestation is in the 5D. In the fifth dimension, in the 5th dimension and up, that's where all the possibilities, all the realities of every option or opening is existing right now in what they call a probability of existence. It means all versions are simultaneously superpositioned. They're happening all at once, but they're jumbled up that we can't recognize them. When we take our observation, we collapse a certain point and it comes into our 3D. So as you can see, of course your mind is going to tell you there's no evidence. Of course your mind is going to tell you I can't see it. Of course your mind is going to tell you there's no way it's going to come in, because we in our minds are stuck in 3D. However, the next version, the higher version of you, is not confined to 3D. So it is in the non-physical. So it knows exactly how and when, and what it does, it sends that information to us in the 3D via our subconscious mind. However, if you are occupied in your own ego, thinking and figuring out where it is, you will miss the information that's downloaded in your subconscious. So while you're over here being distracted, your higher self has sent the information and it's dormant in the subconscious. Only until you give up the need to figure out how it's gonna come, when it's gonna come, that's when it will surface up so you can have it. Until you do that, you will continue to look around and figure out something's wrong with me, what's good, and that's what you'll perpetually keep repeating in your life. You understand that now? So what you do is you now know that, wait a minute, I have to spend more time just flowing, less time critically thinking. Is that making sense now? This is tricky because we do think in the ego and we do use our logical mind. But this is where the paradox lies though. You have to recognize that once you're entertaining your mind with how and when and it's not working and da-da-da-da-da, the information is already inside of you. The minute you just say, screw this, I'm just gonna flow, I'm going to expect it, I'm gonna live as if, that information now surfaces, and the ego now will translate that information into, oh, this is how it manifested. By that time it already manifested. You see, the thing with the ego is, the ego can only know how something will manifest after it has manifested, because the ego can never know the infinite ways. The ego can only know a couple ways, and your higher self doesn't necessarily have to choose the couple ways your ego sees. It could come a totally different aspect, totally different way that you're ever unaware of. And here's what the ego does when it happens. The ego will always say that, and this is the magic word to show you that this stuff is true, and all of us said it before. Here's the magic words your ego will say. Damn, I would never have thought it would come that way in a million years. Here's another one. Man, where did that come from? Whoa, I did not expect it to come in that way. See? Many of you said, go back. See? Many of you said, go back and think about things you've manifested. See? Many of you said, go back and think about things you've manifested. I feel better, and then only after that your mind says, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I would have never thought I'm that way. I'm that way. I'm that way. In our journey. So I want you guys to just kind of keep in mind that you from a 3D. You can't see your thoughts. You can't see your emotions. But they go somewhere. When you imagine or visualize something, it's not in 3D. It appears in your mind in 3 dimensions. But what's appearing in your mind is the information that your brain collapses to make an image. But if we break the raw data down of imagination, if we break the raw ingredients, they're called qubits, you're sending pixels or information into 5D. That information goes out into a field that's infinite. And then your higher self sources the information you send, builds it up together, and picks a reality where it is actually happening, and then reforms it back so that you can get it in 3D. So this is what you have to understand. When you are projecting information, you're not projecting it in 3D. It's going in 5D. So how can you manifest in 3D? You don't. But see, we have been taught that, and we have logically, assumed that, well, I have to look for it. Now I've put it out. Let me go look for my evidence. Let me see if it's working. Dang, it's been 2 months, man. There's nothing happening here. Something must be wrong with me. Maybe I need to do something else. Now you're trapped. Ego got you. Now you send a signal to your subconscious mind to keep showing me lack. Keep showing me looking. I'm looking for the evidence. Okay, I'll keep showing you the looking for evidence. I'll show you. I'll just keep you'll be looking for evidence and there's no evidence. So you gotta bypass all that. You gotta understand it's your mind's natural defense mechanism to help you. So every time you're gonna manifest something, you're always gonna face these parts. Where is it? How is it gonna come? Why is it taking this long? What's wrong with me? Is it working? Those are all natural mechanisms of your ego. When you experience those things, you ignore them because now you know, wait a minute, my ego cannot access 5 dimensions. So once you do this, you will lower your entropy of resistance. And once you get your resistance down, see the wave of my hands? See how it starts flowing? You see, look how in sync that my hands is moving with that filter. See that? That's called flow. Look at that. Didn't break a band. That's what happens when you lock in. It's invisible. This filter allows you to see the aura, right? But you take this filter on and I do this, it's still back there. So this is just a great example to show you that even the non-physical, it's still happening on a different frame of our perception. Does that make sense now? Now you guys can go ahead and achieve and put forth more, right? And that's basically what it is. That's today's lecture. Happy manifesting. See you guys again next time.